Virgin Gang, hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Let's talk a little bit about the chaos that's ensuing the Pokemon space as we speak. Apparently, some people are just not having a good time anymore. Some people's faith is wavering. Maybe some people have seen it. Maybe you're actually experiencing yourself. Maybe you purchased some stuff and you just don't have the backing that you used to anymore for some of the products and some of the purchases you put your seal of approval on. So maybe some people have seen it, but I guess there's a little bit of market stagnation happening. It's not really moving so much anymore. What's happening is people are looking at their handy dandy collector graphs and they're noticing that stuff doesn't have little green arrows next to it anymore. It's just kind of sitting. It's not really moving in any direction. In some cases, the horror that's going to come out, I mean, it's October, scary month. The scariest thing is happening to people. There's red arrows next to things and it's going down. Some stuff that people have claimed would never dip whatsoever. It's just going to go up and up, and the interest will always be there and people will always be ready and willing to buy it. And Pokemon cards just move up forever, as we all know. I think Fusion Strike was being talked about. I guess that's dipped a little bit, even though Fusion Strike is still ridiculously expensive. Celebrations has dipped a little bit, particularly the Ultra Premium Collection. I think the ETB dipped a little bit. People were kind of throwing a big old fit about that. They're like, oh, it's supposed to keep going up. The 30th anniversary is coming. And people are just kind of losing a little bit of faith in what they bought. It's kind of weird to see it happening so quick. We're not even in 2026 yet. And people are already just kind of questioning all the things that they were fed over the last year, over the last few months, where people are like, oh, Pokemon product's supposed to do that. To me, my collector app, I have that to actually keep track of what I have. I don't give two fucks about what the price is doing. I check it on it sometimes, and everything I've got is going up pretty much. Everything that I'm doing, my total for what's going on with Pokemon is ridiculously high. It's something that I think is a little goofy. I'm not really having any issues looking at what's going on whatsoever. I guess people are looking at the nitty gritty. People are looking at the things that they bought, and they're starting to question things too. And I happen to think it might be a little bit of the modern things. People are picking up maybe a little bit of the prismatic, maybe a little bit of the 151, maybe a little bit of the booster boxes and the booster bundles from the Scarlet and Violet era, where people were told, you know, hey, there's not really a big chance of the reprints. And even if there are reprints, what are the chances of those plebs getting it in their hands? As long as you got these bots, as long as you got all these different ways to skirt the system, you know, what's the matter, right? Pokemon is definitely going to start listening to other demographics other than the money people at this point. So I don't know if people know this. I don't know if the actual money bros and the flippers know this. You don't run this place, and that's going to be a cold reality some of you guys are going to figure out at some point. Players run this place. Players run the Pokemon TCG. That is who Pokemon will cater to forever. That is who they will make product for and make reprints for and make sure cards get into people's hands for the rest of their existence. They do not care what you do on the secondhand market with anything they're doing. They don't care about your job. They don't care about you feeding your family with this shit. They don't care about you quitting your previous employment in order to be a Pokemon seller or a Pokemon influencer because it was your lifelong dream and now you're achieving it. Now Pokemon's ruining it by making all these prints and all this stuff. They don't care about that. They will cater to players. They will make sure playable cards and playable sets get out there in droves to make sure that the tournaments, the TCG events keep happening. That is what Pokemon truly cares about. And it's going to be something people figure out over time. Now, am I going to say that things are going to go down? I really don't think there's actually a market crash like some people are. A market crash is crazy. Some people have the goofiest thumbnails going right now. It's like the straight up just downward arrow where things are just hitting the floor. It's under the floor. It's fucking buried. It's 6 feet under. That's how dead the Pokemon space is if you listen to some people here. Bro, shit dropped like no joke. $100. Some stuff that was valued at $1,000 dropped $100. And that's what we're looking at for people that are actually panicking. The listings for stuff has been popping up more and more. Just peruse any of the Reddits for r/Poke investing, r/Pokemon TCG, r/Pokemon investing, r/Poke T, all those shits, man. Just peruse them all. Peruse the Facebook marketplace. Look at eBay. Look at all the different listings and stuff that are popping up. I truly do think people are kind of looking for an exit strategy because people are getting a little scared. I made a video about that not that long ago, and I truly do think the fear is being seen. Like, people can't drive. They can't get in the fucking car with the Tiger anymore because the fear is real. It's controlling them at this point, and people are starting to question what people have said. Now, anyone who's willing to wait, and this is what I'm going to say to anybody who's watching, then I think most people that are of level mind and sound thinking kind of get this. If you just wait like an actual investor would do. That's how I know we don't have a ton of investors here. We have a lot of flippers and money bros. Investors really aren't that worried about this shit because honestly, they have that stuff put away for like the next 5, 6, 7 years and they don't really fucking care. They have that stuff and they're not even touching it. And a lot of people that are here financially for the long haul, a lot of people who are collectors for the long haul, don't have any kind of concern about this whatsoever. There's people that are just moving along. I'm not really that worried about it. I'm not an investor. I'm just a collector. I'm just sitting here enjoying my cards, doing my stuff. I have things I've purchased over the years that I'm enjoying. I have things that I'm looking forward to hopefully getting at some point. I'm not really counting on anything. If something does happen, if Pokemon does unleash the mass amount of product to people, I'll be picking up some stuff. If it doesn't, I'll be looking forward. I'll be trying to find stuff at MSRP. I'll be trying to catch store drops. I'll be looking at different things. I'll try to catch some deals where I can. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, I have plenty of stuff. I'm not worried about this. And the investors, the actual investors in this Pokemon space, really are not either. There's nothing wrong with stuff having legitimate value here. And I think that's the thing people confuse with the MSRP gang is they think we're just completely against money existing here. Bro, money existed here before half you fucks even knew who Pikachu was, before any of you guys fucking discovered Charizard. LGS owners existed here. People selling singles existed before y'all were here. There was instances of Pokemon product on eBay for over MSRP before a lot of y'all were here. So it's not anything like people have anything against money existing here. Just legitimate money is the thing that I think a lot of people, I don't think people feel like a lot of the prices, especially in the Scarlet and Violet era where people are pushing boxes to $400, $350, $500 in some cases. It doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel legitimate. I don't care if people are cosplaying and buying all this shit and moving this stuff around and just making this money temporarily move. All that money's going to move towards credit card bills for half those people anyway. I don't really care what people think. It just hasn't earned it. Scarlet and Violet is not worth $500 fucking dollars for a booster box. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense. And I think people are really coming to terms with the fact that like it's kind of just overhyped. It's overrated. That's what people really think it is. They don't think the cards suck. They don't think the actual sets are garbage. They think people are just too willing to push it up into the Sun and Moon territory and the Sword and Shield territory without it actually earning the spot, without time actually weathering the sets, without there being any kind of legitimate, here's what the sets are, here's what the cards are, here's why people do that stuff. Scarlet and Violet right now just thinks like everything's expensive because it's expensive, because we're in a boom right this second, because the 30th anniversary is coming. We got people that don't want to work real jobs pumping up cards. Like it feels a lot like that, and it doesn't feel legit. It doesn't feel earned. And a lot of people have major issues with that. I don't care if stuff has value. It completely makes sense to me that vintage cards are expensive. It completely makes sense to me that Sun and Moon cards have value to them. It makes sense to me that Sword and Shield cards are rising in value and have fucking value to them. No one is mad that there's legitimate value to cards. The Scarlet and Violet era is being fucking speed ran into an investment portfolio, and it has not earned any of it yet. It has not earned a fucking ounce of it. The singles, people complaining about singles going up and down, motherfucker, that's the singles market. That's how things go. People making all this stuff and all these articles about cards going up and down like crazy. You go fact check it, it's already recovered. Things have already bounced back up, or cards have shot right back down because the market is deciding ultimately what's worth stuff and what's not. And a lot of it's going to be the older stuff that's retaining some of its value. I've noticed a lot of the Scarlet and Violets actually starting to do the whole stagnation of what's going on. There's plenty of things in Scarlet and Violet that are continuing to go up, but it's kind of some of the stuff that people weren't putting all their money into. People are really putting their money into 151, which some of that stuff has gone up a little bit still. People are putting their money into Destined Rivals. Those booster boxes, those are currently going down. They might get to $300 again. Oh man, 300. Oh, people that bought them at $450. That'd be a real shame if they went back down to 300. That would be a shame. Just for the sake of having fun here, I really do think unplugging a little bit from just the sake of looking at everything financially and letting the flippers flip, letting the fucking scalpers scalp, and letting the content creator, investor, business bros have their fun. Honestly, those guys don't really bother me so much. They're just free content. They're just free fucking laughing and making fun of content, honestly, because a lot of people, while I don't think everyone here is just a fucking moron, I do think there's a lot of people here that just don't understand. They don't really get where things go. They think they have this place figured out. They think the market here caters completely to them, and they don't realize they're not the ones that are in control. Ultimately, if Pokemon needs to get cards into the hands of players, that is ultimately what they will do. They will reprint the fuck out of stuff. to make sure cards get into the hands of players and that their tournaments still happen. People can still get playables and not have to fucking pay $7 for uncommon trainers or something like that. They'll put a trainer toolkit out that none of y'all are gonna fucking buy. They'll make sure it doesn't have a cool promo in there for people to milk, so actual players can get stuff. If they need to make collection boxes for sets to actually get into people's hands, they'll do it. And ultimately, people that are just having fun here opening and collecting, they don't care if they get collection boxes only. They don't care if they get booster bundles only. It seems like a certain demographic of people that are super held up on booster boxes for some reason. People that want to hold on to stuff for that. And ultimately, if you have a booster box for 6 years, it's going to go up. The problem is, are a lot of those guys going to be here for 6 years? Are they going to be here 7 years? I don't know. Some of them did show up, weirdly 10 months ago. People are going to show up and maybe they'll leave in another 2 months. Maybe they'll leave in another year and 2 months. Maybe 2 years will be all that's it for them. Some people will stay. We're going to watch a lot of people fade because it's just not fun for them anymore. Just market stagnation. That's really funny to me that the market is stagnating. It's not even crashing. It's stagnating. It's not moving at all. It's funny. Fusion Strike dropped $70. Fucking time to abandon ship. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. It's just money. Money.